you said earlier that buyer's agents are like they're working for listing agents. So I'm curious, like when would it make sense then to hire a buyer's agent to field those Zillow calls or those Facebook leads? Would it make sense to hire one of those agents like as soon as you can? So that so then you can have access to more conversations?
No.
No.
And the reason why is because that's a shortcut, and shortcuts never work. You might think they work in the moment, and the reality is the shortcut never works, right? It's like if you're a Navy SEAL and you take a shortcut,
you're dead.
There's a high probability you're dead.
Or somebody's
right?
dead.
Someone's getting killed when you take a shortcut.
Yeah.
Eventually, business and life works the exact same way. There are no free lunches, as boomer as I sound with that. And the reality is going out and hiring. That's right. Going out and hiring a buyer's agent because you don't want to do the work, or you don't have the bandwidth to show several houses at one time because of the demand by your consumers has you showing a bunch of houses at one time, will eventually be a disaster. And it will become a disaster either because you offer no value and eventually that agent will leave, or because your business will be incredibly chaotic.
It actually causes more work.
It does.
It
And
literally will cause you to do more work.
the other option is that you'll actually find that despite the fact that maybe you're converting at a higher rate, you're not actually capturing and retaining any more profit. Yeah. And that's because you haven't analyzed what the actual operating costs of your business are in order to figure out where's the break even and profit line with having a buyer's agent. Because most people undervalue or underprice the cost of providing the services that are operating in their business in order to have someone else who's actually productive and profitable in their organization, like a buyer's agent.
Right.
A buyer's agent costs you money, whether you choose to do the accounting or not.
Right.
Ignoring your bank account and your P&L doesn't mean that it didn't cost money. That's what most real estate agents do, however.
So I want to amend my answer. It's not no, it depends.
Oh.
So my depends is if everything has been set right, like if you have all the infrastructure and everything in place and you've done everything that's in, like the MREA book just states that you need to add leverage. If you have leverage, if everything is humming, then yeah, you need to hire a buyer's agent. But most people do what I did was I was a buyer's agent. In essence, I was an agent. I was a buyer's agent. I was exhausted. So I'm like, hey, come over here. I'm gonna give you these leads. And then I'm gonna, then we can work together as a team. That's the wrong way to do it because you need, like I said earlier, you need support. What happens is if you do not build the support within your organization early, guess who becomes the support?
Yeah.
And now you work twice as hard because now you're an admin for you and someone else.
That's right.
And you're training them. And guess what? You still got to sell houses and you still got to do all the work.
Yeah.
So until you have that support in place, do not even think about hiring a buyer's agent.
Yeah, if you have no admin, you are the admin. That's how it works. And the reality is people don't follow the system and model in order to do that. And then they don't document the system and the model in order to have someone else be able to follow it. And so it always goes, you, the salesperson, step two, someone to document the systems, the processes, and the models. Yep. If Chick-fil-A has a successful franchise model because they are able to document the franchise model for what the processes look like in order to be successful every time.
And duplicate it.
They don't hire a bunch of high school kids who say, my pleasure, and think that's going to be a scalable business model. Mm-hmm. That's the failure that most real estate agents make. And the reason why the profitability doesn't actually increase when you hire additional people, if it's not actually a scalable process.
I tell people, like I literally just had this conversation in my driveway yesterday because I'm working from home, is when you come, and this isn't a Keller Williams podcast, but when I work for Keller, we work at Keller Williams. when you come to Keller Williams, what you're paying for is a franchise.
Yeah.
So you're paying for the systems and the models. If I want to go buy a Chick-fil-A franchise, Chick-fil-A teaches me where to buy the food. They do all those things, and then I follow that model. Unfortunately, when we go to like a discount brokerage, you're not paying for the systems and models, and then you don't have it.
Absolutely.
So then you're like, oh, I'm paying, I might get this transaction fee or whatever, but they're not giving you the systems and models in order to grow your business.
Mike, I know the code of ethics. I won't pretend that I may not slip up and say something. So I'll ask for forgiveness if I
we'll put like a
if I make a statement that is not becoming of the code of ethics. But we started tracking offers that we're receiving right now. The other day we had 54 offers on a listing, and I have one that we started adding to a spreadsheet yesterday that has 16 offers on it, and we started adding a tab for what company, from a franchise perspective or from an independent perspective, someone is with.
Yeah.
Not because it at all factors into how a decision is made,
right,
but because I actually want to track how critical is it, mission critical right now, in the way that the competitive landscape of where things are, how mission critical is it to be aligned with a company like a Keller Williams, where there's a documented system and model and group think towards growth, culture versus absolutely when the culture of the company is group think towards growth.
Yep.
Versus being on an island of independent, fractured real estate industry. What are the results looking like? Yeah. Because I have a hypothesis that says that now is the worst time ever to be independent.